Mom lose baby, so decides to sell her cradle and this happens. For those who are expecting a new baby, there's a lot of planning. Baby showers, decorating the nursery, clothes, and furniture. Valerie Watts had these things ready to go by the time she was 9 months pregnant. That's when she had the unfortunate news that her baby passed away only days before she gave birth. This news left a feeling inside of her that was unimaginable. Imagine being happy to give birth to something you cannot wait to love and cherish, just to realize this dream has now become a nightmare. What's worse is the thought of having a nursery set up with everything your child needs, but there will be no child. Despite this heartbreaking news and feeling, Valerie eventually decided to sell the crib in a garage sale, but she was not prepared for what would happen after it was sold. When she decided to sell some of it, an elderly man surprised her. When Valerie Watts delivered her stillborn son in July, she was heartbroken. It took her a while, but Valerie eventually chose to sell the crib in a garage sale, but she was not prepared for what would happen after it was sold. Now this beautiful story is making its way all over the internet. All week I knew he wasn't moving as much. I was very nervous. Those are the words of Valerie Watts from Kokana, Minnesota, when she tells Fox 9 about the week before her son Noah was tragically stillborn. After the traumatic experience of giving birth to her dead son, Valerie couldn't bring herself to sell any of Noah's things or touch the nursery she'd made for him. She was so devastated that she left it untouched for a year. In May 2014, however, she believed she had gathered enough strength to set up a garage sale and sell Noah's belongings and baby furniture. It was a difficult decision, and she forced herself to put some of the items on sale, in particular the crib which she seemed to be attached to the most. Somehow in the back of her mind, she thought it would be the last thing anyone would want to buy. To her surprise, an older man by the name of Gerald took a liking to the piece of furniture. Gerald restores old furniture on his spare time and thought he could make use of the crib. He was persistent about buying it, but could sense a feeling of uncertainty from Valerie's side. She was kind of hesitant. I knew that maybe she didn't want to sell it, yet she did, he told Fox 9. Gerald had no idea what the real reason behind the garage sale was. He'd seen Valerie sell baby clothes and just assumed her child had probably grown older and she no longer needed all this stuff. Little did he know that his wife, who was also at the garage sale, had earlier been chatting with Valerie and asked her how old her child was. Valerie explained that her baby passed away in July, and it just broke the lady's heart. Gerald packed the crib into their car and he and his wife headed home. On their way, his wife told him Valerie's story. They realized what this crib must have meant to her and why she seemed hesitant to sell it. They decided they had to take the piece of furniture back. But Gerald also understood that it could be just as equally painful to have it in the shape of a crib, so he decided to transform it into a beautiful bench as a memorial for Noah. A week later, Gerald returned to Valerie's house with a gift. The unused crib was now a beautiful bench which would sit in her home as a memory of her Noah. Valerie was left in tears by the beautiful gesture of this gracious stranger. It's amazing, and there's good people out there. There's proof, she tells Fox 9. There are many parents who unfortunately know how it feels to be in Valerie's shoes. It's a loss that's hard to comprehend, and no matter how many years go by, sorrow remains in your heart after losing a child. Finding comfort after a tragedy like this is not an easy task, and those closest to the family who suffered maybe struggle to know what to do or say to offer support. I think it's so heartwarming to see a complete stranger take a chance to bring someone who experienced such grief some type of joy. Talk about a wonderful and thoughtful gift from Gerald. This lovely bench can now honor her dear Noah. A child's death causes a profound family crisis. It shatters core beliefs and assumptions about the world and the expectations about how life should unfold. The overwhelming suffering and intense emotions that flood the days, weeks, months, and years following the loss is called grief. The difficulty with child loss exists because we are wishing for something we can't ever have. We miss the children we lost so deeply, and all we want is to hold them again. We'll never again hold our babies here on Earth. There are many parents out there who have gone through something similar to Valerie. Please consider sharing this story as a way of showing solidarity with these parents.